And welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, here to talk to you guys about everything in terms of the world of professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors, and drama. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings. We talk about promotions from WWE, the GCW, to Deathlock Professional Wrestling. If it makes major news on the world of professional wrestling, even in New Japan Professional Wrestling, we talk about it here on this show 1,010%. So make sure you guys tune into all the awesome wrestling tea that we have here. Like and subscribe to the show so you guys can get some notifications whenever we decide to go live. All right, so Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, Big KO, has to become the WWE Champion. And it's to the point where this has to happen. You know, he's been flirting with this contract negotiation for quite some time, and it just really hasn't come in fruition. Is WWE gonna, are they gonna sign KO? Like, I know that he got an offer from WWE, didn't really like it. AEW actually made him an offer as well, and and then Kevin Owens wanted WWE to match it, but WWE didn't want to. But I don't really see Kevin Owens going to AEW, although he'd be a great asset. He'd be an interesting mix inside the bunch. But he's a WWE superstar. I don't know why. There's just this aura. Maybe because he's already kind of paid his dues in the independent wrestling already. And, him coming to WWE, he said in an interview that he really doesn't want to see himself anywhere else. Like, he can't. He said, I'm at that point in my career where, if I become WWE champion, it would be the greatest thing in my life. I'll treat the championship with respect. I'll defend it on a daily basis. I'll be a fighting champion. But if I don't, then, that's okay too. I can definitely, be happy. He said if he was to retire today, he would be, just basically grateful. And that's someone that Kevin Owens is. That's something, that a lot of fans kind of got to know recently with the stint with Kevin Owens, with, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, where, he was a babyface for a little bit there. And, he was kind of cool. It was, it was great. Obviously, you can see him as a babyface, obviously, after, he beat the Usos, night one of WrestleMania and stuff like that, going up against the Bloodline and then getting injured by this new young Bloodline. And then, Kevin Owens has had a really up and down roller coaster career. So, I don't know. I just feel like throughout Kevin Owens' tenure in WWE, although he's got some championships, not really taking anything away from him. Obviously, the second WWE Universal Champion in history. But, a lot of the times, even Kevin Owens said it himself, that he feels like his career has been a little bit of a lackluster. He was a promising standout inside NXT, and he was a joke of a Universal Champion, obviously, during his run, never really, he did face and he did beat the likes of Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, but, it just wasn't Kevin Owens. He had Chris Jericho, with the list of Jericho. You just made the list. And this whole best friend storyline here. And he ends up dropping the belt to Goldberg, which was a stupid decision by WWE. Should have never happened. If you're going to have Kevin Owens kind of go out there and the only way he's going to win is through interference, I get it. But don't have him drop the belt to Goldberg. If anything, he should have defeated Goldberg, and then thus kind of that's kind of making him more of a serious, threat inside the world of professional wrestling, inside the world of WWE. Like, imagine if he defeated Goldberg. I feel like it would have done wonders for his career. Instead, he drops the belt to Goldberg. Obviously, probably a Vinnie Mac decision there, but it just wasn't the best decision. It was bad for Kevin Owens, and now it's to the point where his characters will be in jeopardy. If literally, what's Kevin Owens? What does he have to do? What does he have to do to become the main guy inside WWE? Will he defeat Cody Rhodes? These guys have great chemistry in the ring with each other right now. Cody Rhodes and the Bloodline drama probably will cease to exist as of right now because Roman Reigns, they're kind of succumbed. They're kind of brought in with their own storyline with this Bloodline Civil War that looks like, due to the injuries of, Tonga Loa. Also, I'm not too sure if Jimmy Uso was a huge... I'm just kidding. No, he's part of the family. He's part of the family. now you're going to have them have their own storyline, and Cody Rhodes kind of coming into the mix of it. I don't really see anything else. Obviously, Roman wants the WWE Championship. Obviously, so does Solo. But at the same time, that Unifala just seems like it matters more right now. This, who's the tribal chief? Who's the true tribal chief? Maybe we'll get a tribal chief combat pretty soon match between Solo and Roman. But as of right now, you kind of have Cody Rhodes, and I know he's been talked about on wrestling media as kind of being this, kind of like vanilla, kind of being this, boring wrestling WWE champion, which, I can see how people can make that argument. But then again, I'm like, when Cody Rhodes inside the ring, he's great. He's great. He's definitely one of the best wrestlers to ultimately do it right now. But, right now, Kevin Owens, I feel like it's time. I definitely feel like it's time. Kevin Owens needs a new direction. Obviously, having him turn heel and being Kevin Owens is right. And, like I said, is Kevin Owens really a heel? Like, he just ultimately wants to prove to Cody Rhodes and kind of be like, dude, like, you were my friend, man. Why were you teaming up with Roman Reigns, who tried to end my career? Obviously, Rhodes did it to kind of protect his own career because you had the young bloodline kind of coming after him. So Roman Reigns was the only friend at that moment in time, and vice versa. Roman Reigns really didn't have his bloodline together until Jimmy came back, and then he brought Jay, and then they brought Sammy, and this storyline could obviously be a lot summed up by just like the storyline of just betrayal. It all depends. It's in the eyes of the beholder. It's all a matter of perspective. Is Kevin Owens right? Is he wrong? Or he's hurt. He's hurt. Obviously, obviously related to the fans. Obviously relating to true feelings as you as a human being kind of go through. Like, I don't know. Like, if you have your best friend, obviously it's different because obviously it's entertainment. But like, we see your best friend kind of, hanging out with the person who might have, beat you up at a party or something. Like, obviously these are huge, steps here. But and then later on you see them hanging out. Like, it would be it would mess up the friendship. And stuff like this does happen, and it's a nice storyline that, that I feel like Cody Rhodes needed desperately, and that Kevin Owens, he needed. But, I don't know, I just want to see Kevin Owens do better. Cody Rhodes teaming up with the man who tried to end his career wasn't really good. It's just like on Monday Night Raw, you kind of have this Seth Rollins angle where he's neither a heel or a baby face. Can we see Kevin Owens possibly defeat Cody Rhodes? There's a couple of outs here. Like, Randy Orton could return. Randy Orton could return to screw over Kevin Owens, thus kind of fueling their rivalry. It could happen. They have great promos and they have great matches. But Kevin Owens, he could be a comedic babyface. He could be a serious heel. But I don't know, his run as a singles world title, it was back. Last time he had a singles world title was back in 2016. 2017, he held the Universal Champion. Well, not the Universal Championship, but yeah, I think he held the Universal Championship for 188 days. I think his last world singles, I think it was the United States Championship. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I don't know. It should be pretty crazy to kind of find out. Cody Rhodes as well. The storylines are literally running dry, as some fans, definitely think this run could be a little bit boring. Speaking on the Hall of Fame podcast with WWE Hall of Fame and NXT commentator Booker T said that he wouldn't be shocked if Kevin Owens dethroned Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event. Said, and I quote, "This business is so hot right now. There's so many guys that have a rocket attached to their back. This dude has put his time. He's paid his damn dues. To see Kevin Owens actually cash it in, it'd be great, man." And that's true. That's true. 1,010%. That's true. He's paid his dues. He's literally done everything on the on the main roster. And WWE is hot right now. WWE literally. I feel like if you want to play around with storylines, especially with this WWE heading to Netflix, Monday Night Raw, and this Superstar shakeup, where you will probably see a swap between Gunther and Cody Rhodes, because you saw Gunther talking to Nick Aldis, and you saw Cody Rhodes talking with Adam Pearce last Monday night on Raw. And Cody Rhodes could be like, too, like, hey, like, to be honest, like, I need some new faces. I need some new faces from new places. and him coming to Monday Night Raw, would be great. I feel like it'd be perfect. But Kevin Owens, I feel like it's time. It's got to be his time. Either Cody Rhodes loses the title and the WWE Championship stays on SmackDown with KO, which would bring up a whole new array of different types of storylines. That would be, I feel like it'd be kind of cool. You kind of have to have fresh ideas, and having the title on Cody just seems like a safe move. You know how sometimes you're playing a game of chess and you kind of, you move the pawn up and you're like, oh, okay, it's not the most aggressive move, but if it's the most stable move that I know won't get my butt bit in the back at the end of the match. So this could possibly be a nice little way to kind of bring up some fresh competition like that. I don't know. But that's just me. And I'm not saying Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes he's not a veteran, so to speak. I feel like he's like on that borderline of being, a new fresh talent toward being a veteran based on his age. Like he was with Randy Orton, with Legacy, with Ted DiBiase Jr. and and then he made it to, Stardust, and then, he got fired from the WWE, and then comes back to WWE, and then he gets his story, the 2-year story with 2 back-to-back Royal Rumble wins. So I don't know. It's I feel like something needs to be different, and I feel like WWE, like what Booker T said, it's fresh, it's hot. So I feel like right now I don't really feel like if this decision happens, fans are gonna be like, oh, this is bullshit. Like I'm leaving. Bullspit. I'm leaving. Like they're not gonna do that. WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray commented on the possibility of Kevin Owens winning at WWE Saturday Night's Main Event, stating that The Rock could cost Cody Rhodes the WWE Championship and start their feud heading up toward WrestleMania 41. Right now, The Rock is been rumored to not going to be able to be a part of WrestleMania, but obviously I feel like that's kayfabe. I feel like that's some fake news right there. Even The Rock said in an interview a couple of months ago, when it was first kind of brought to the surface that he was not going to be on the match card of WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, Nevada, he was like, it's all fake news, don't believe it. So this could possibly happen. This will be a great way. When The Rock left to film his movie, he basically told Cody Rhodes, this might be the end of the story with you and Roman, but this is the start of our story between The Rock and Cody Rhodes, where maybe he decides to put up that People's Championship. He holds that belt with such pride. Cody Rhodes can find a way to be like, oh, you know what? I'm the People's Champion, this and that and the other. I feel like the WWE Championship and him winning at WrestleMania 40, I feel like it's paid its dues. He's been champion since April. Him losing the championship would not be an indictment on Cody Rhodes' career coming to WWE. I don't feel like it would be a black mark. I don't feel like it'll hurt his career in any way. I feel like it would mostly kind of start bringing up the careers of other superstars who could possibly get a taste to becoming that WWE champion. But I don't know. It should be interesting to find out what happens on that. During an interview with the Collider, Kevin Owens spoke about his time in WWE. He said, and I quote, "When I first signed with WWE, I was basically told that I was going to stay in NXT and I was never really going to see the light of Monday Night Raw and WWE SmackDown." But he did. He made his way to SmackDown. He made his way to Raw first, and then obviously Triple H, putting the belt on him, pedigreeing Seth Rollins. So, Kevin Owens becomes the second Universal Champion. Kind of signifying to the fans that this might be the new thing in WWE. But obviously, back then it wasn't really, the creative wasn't controlled by Triple H, where you could possibly have new faces, new NXT call-ups, potentially be a fighting, just honorable champion. And Kevin Owens, still to this day, he looks at that run as Universal Champion as kind of bad. All right, guys, so do not go anywhere. We're going to talk about Trish Stratus returning to the world of professional wrestling. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here in about 20 seconds. So, hey, do not go anywhere.